Now, what are you going to learn in this course? In this course, you are going to receive a detailed and thorough explanation of different programming concepts. Many of these concepts may actually be used in a lot of different fields such as cybersecurity, working with sensors, the Internet of Things, the IoT, and especially in embedded systems. So there is a lot of things we can do with it later on, but before we go so far, we need to learn the basics. So in this course, we learn the fundamentals, the basis, the actual core of programming. So once we know it, we will be able to proceed to more advanced topics and additional courses and fields of usage. And now let's make a quick overview of what you are going to learn in this course. So in the first section, we are going to make some general introduction, and before we even write down our first program, I'm going to share with you some very useful knowledge that will help you to understand what is programming, as well as teaching you different fundamentals and usages. We are going to introduce the user or the customer side, the one who actually buys or downloads or uses the app that we develop. And we are also going to talk about the developer side, which is the guy who is in charge of developing the application for this particular user. We're also going to talk about what is a computer as a unit, as well as what are some additional common parts that a computer system usually has. We are also going to talk about what is even a programming language, what this term even means, okay? And this section, actually, this whole section of the general introduction is actually not mandatory. It's very general, but I think that as a future programmer that you want to become, you must be familiar with it, with all the concepts that I talk about there, and not only to be familiar with some syntax that we learn for our particular programming language. So right after we finish the general introduction, we are going to introduce and to talk about the environment and how we can set up using, whether you're using Windows, Linux, or Mac. We are going to download and install everything necessary to get ourselves started, and once everything is set up and running, we are going to learn how a basic text can be used in our code. We will create our first greetings program, which should display the famous hello you or hello world message, and we are going to talk about numbers as well as other data types and how they can be used in programming. Also, I will teach you what are these famous variables that a lot of people are so afraid of. So don't worry, we'll cover that up. Then I'm going to introduce you to the control flow mechanism, and we are going to talk how exactly can you control what your program should and shouldn't do. For example, if you insert your grade on your last exam, control flow will allow you to get some congratulations message printed to the screen if you pass the exam, and otherwise to get a try again message. So this way you will control the flow of your commands in your program. You will also learn how to loop over a bunch of commands over and over again until some conditions are met, which is pretty amazing, right? Then we will proceed to one of the most useful and necessary things in all of the programming topics, which is functions. Functions are basically everywhere in programming, and they are the central part for almost anything that you will build in the future. So any app, product, startup, or whatever you would like to develop, you are probably going to use functions as part of it. Then we will talk about arrays and what basically they are used for, and during all of these sections we are going to do incredible milestones and incredible challenges that will help you to see your progress while you are proceeding in this course. We will then move on to some more advanced topics and speak about pointers. That's usually considered to be a really hard thing to grasp at first, but I think it will be good if you will just pay attention during all the previous lectures and do all the challenges and assignments throughout the course. Then the pointers, if you do so, the pointers sections is not going to be much of a problem. Afterwards, we are going to talk about strings, which basically represent most of the text you can see anywhere on your computer, tablet, or phone. Strings are also considered to be an essential part of almost any app that contains some text, okay? So you better listen carefully at these lessons. And for the end of this special edition course, we will finish it with one of the most scariest concepts, which is none other than recursion, which is simply a concept and it can be used in most of the programming languages nowadays, and most of the teachers like to discuss this concept and to explain it to you. So as you can see, there is a lot for us to cover up in this course, and although there are more additional advanced topics in our programming language, we basically cannot cover everything in just one course. That's not how we should do it. So in this course, we are going to focus and to practice all the topics I've just specified, and it will take you not one and not two, it will take you all 10 steps further. And I think you're really going to enjoy this course and to gain a lot of knowledge. So with that being said, let's move on.